That toy life.
To catch these ghosts, you need the real Ghostbusters.
Nice landing, Han Solo.
Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately. Batteries not included.
That toy life.
Who recorded that? Let's do a quick bit of like behind the scenes trivia. How did that come
It
about?
was so. I'm not a big fan. Ashley's a big fan of Elton John, so I just happened to reach out to him. I happened to reach out to him and was like, "Look, we would really appreciate it if you do the intro." And he said, "Absolutely not." And so I think Ashley ended up doing it.
Yeah. Well, you helped, Austin. I mean, you helped edit because I gave you a copy and you were like, "No, let's do this." So I mean, it was a team effort.
I like it. It's awesome.
Of course.
What are the? I noticed you have sound bites from old like '80s commercials, like toys commercials. Like were there specific ones that y'all picked from? I heard Han Solo was one of them, and then something about the Ghostbusters.
I just tried to find like the cleanest toy commercials I could find because a lot of them, are VHS and they're So I just tried to find the cleanest ones I could and grab snippets of dialogue where you couldn't hear the background music as well. Like it overpowered that,
Think smarter, not harder.
Yeah. So
I love it. Did anybody see the Dune trailer that came out?
I have not.
Snake Eyes.
Need to watch it.
Oh, we're talking about something else.
The spice must flow.
So so you think it's? You're the only person probably in this group that's read Dune.
No, I have not read Dune. I watched David Lynch's Dune.
Okay.
I know slightly more than I did a year ago, maybe. But I know the basic story of Dune. Yeah.
Gotcha. I was going to say, I don't know anything about it. I know that one of my favorite authors from like the 90s when he did Star Wars books, Kevin J. Anderson, I know he wrote, or he still does write like in that Dune universe with the creator's son or something like that.
Yeah. Frank Herbert's son.
Yeah. Brian Herbert. Is it Brian Herbert? Anyway, I know he writes some books with them, and so I've always heard of Dune and always wondered about it. It was another one of those like franchises. It's like, I just took the route of like Lord of the Rings and C.S. Lewis and all that kind of stuff, and then you have obviously Star Wars and all that kind of stuff. So I never dug into the Dune universe at all. So is this new upcoming movie? Does it look like is it more along the lines of the book, or is it kind of modeled after the David Lynch movie?
No, I think it's going more for the book itself than it is for David Lynch's portrayal. Because I know Denis. Oh God, I always forget how to pronounce his name. Denis
Zendaya. Oh no, you're not talking about Zendaya.
No, I'm not talking about Zendaya. I'll tell you when I want to talk about Zendaya. It's not very often when it comes to this movie because her and Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, to him.
They're my least interested parts of like this film. I'm like least interested in watching about. Like everybody else in the cast, I'm very interested in watching. Those two, I'm not, which is very strange considering they're like two leads in the story.
The thing is I know the Timothy Chalamet guy. He's blowing up from the movie he did, but I'd never seen that. I hadn't really seen anything he did until I've only seen one, and it's The King, I think it's called, on Netflix, and it's actually really good.
Yeah,
but that's the only exposure to him I've had.
Dude, go check out the SNL skit where they do
the hip hop where they were the rappers. Yeah,
I did see that. I did see that.
That is hilarious. That is so funny.
I did see that.
So funny.
I mean, I've spoken with a friend who knows a lot more about Dune than I have. Like, you remember Brian from my wedding, right, Austin?
Yeah.
So he knows all about Dune. Like, he's read all the book stuff. So he's like, if I want to ask any question about Dune, I can ask him, and he'll like, this is all, this is what you need to know about this and this. So from what I remember of what he's told me about, like in terms of Timothy Chalamet's character, Paul Atreides, it's a very accurate, like, this is very close to what the character does look like. The whole idea of Paul Atreides is, what if you do assign like this kind of almost god hero type to a teenager. Like the reality of that is, they kind of like the power eventually goes to their head, and it's one of those weird stories. It's supposed to be a focus on, I think Frank Herbert said way back when, the whole idea of Dune was, heroes aren't these, infallible, beings. People like to make them out to be in stories. They're very fallible. Don't idolize them, stuff like that. They're very flawed normally, and that I think that's kind of one of the basis things. One of the base themes with Dune, along with a lot of other stuff like privacy, and that's a whole other podcast we can do just about Dune. So let's not do that. Let's get somewhere else with Dune.
I know I've seen the toys everywhere. Well, I was going to say, I know in the stores, like at Target and stuff, I've seen all the toys and they look great. There's that one big dude. He's like a king or something.
Yeah,
but
Vladimir Harkonnen. Yeah,
Harkonnen. Just stuff like that.
Yeah, he's played by Stellan Skarsgård in the new movie. In the original, he was. It's supposed to like he's like a personification of every like disease, gluttonous, sin put together almost. Like because he's got a diseased face. It's like constantly worked on by doctors, and he's obviously very gluttonous. He's very lustful, like he's always like apparent, like I think he's like abusing his like little like manservants. Or slaves. I think they're slaves. I forget all about how that all of it works for that family, but it's the dynamics of it. I feel like Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones. Like if you kind of remember, I like how the family dynamic stuff works with these different family clans. There is a similarity with Game of Thrones, or with Dune. I mean, with all these families that are vying for power. But
do you think it's going to translate to the toy sales though? Like I'm just wondering, like I see the toys, and I mean it's just because of the pandemic. But what do you think? I mean,
for toys, I don't know. That's a hard one because I think it's just going to be for the diehards. The only one I would even consider getting if I were to get one, and I'm not really too interested in it, would be Duncan Idaho, which is Jason Momoa's character.
I thought Bautista's character looked pretty cool too.
He looks pretty cool. I think he's supposed to be like I think he's a character that wasn't really I think he's supposed to be like some composite from the original books. Something similar to I think I think he is in the original movie, but I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, he looks great in it. Yeah, he does. Everybody looks great in it. Like, Josh Brolin looks great. Rebecca Ferguson looks great. Oscar Isaac has like a god tier beard. Like,
I was gonna say he looks crazy in it.
Like, it's like I almost wanted to say like when
they released it.
They put out a new trailer today. Yeah.
No, is that what you're saying though? I didn't mean to talk over you.
Oh no, I was just making a joke that with his beard, he could have made a good Joel in the Last of Us TV series.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to say, do they have a figure of him by chance?
Yeah. Duke Leto Atreides. Yeah. They made a figure of him. I've seen a figure of him. There's one of Duncan Idaho. There's one I think of Josh Brolin's character Gurney. They're done by
McFarlane.
McFarlane, yeah. One by I think I said Paul and Gurney, Josh Brolin's character, or did I already say that?
This is one of those movies that it's going to be on HBO Max, right?
I think the way they've got it worked out, because I think Denis was one of the directors that got really upset when HBO announced, or when Warner Brothers announced the big thing during the pandemic about the movies releasing simultaneously in theaters and on HBO Max, because I think he was in that group of directors that was very adamant that this be on the big screen first.
He wasn't happy about it at all. I think he was one of the first ones that was real vocal. Him and like Chris Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. I think Patty Jenkins was also a little bit peeved about it too, because I think she was wanting Wonder Woman to get out there on the big screen as well. But I think the deal that's working right now, unless it's changed since I last remember, but the deal is I think it's going to drop first in theaters for like a certain amount of time. Like I think it's either like 2 weeks or 30 days. You'd have to look it up.
Gotcha.
And then it's going to go on to, and then it'll be released as well on HBO Max.
So this is one of those movies that I'm not going to see in the theater, because I don't really have any, want to actually
any stakes of
to like go spend money on this. But if it's on HBO Max for free, I might give it a shot. I didn't care for the first Dune movie. I don't know if that's blasphemy.
No, it's not to me. They're like, it's entertaining in like two ways to me. It's an interesting story because it's a story. It's told in a way I really haven't seen movies told before, where like you can hear characters' active thoughts happening. It's really weird because I think the reason they did that was in the books. That was happening so often, so prevalent that the only way I think you could do it in a visual medium like film is that you have to come up with some way to know what's going on in a character's head. So they just had to just do, voiceovers, and I don't know how they're going to do it with this movie, but it's more like there's things about it that I just laugh about because it's just you can see the Lynch influence in it, the David Lynch influence, if you've seen a lot of his other works.
Yeah.
Because there's kind of like a funny little, not perverse, but he kind of like toys around with the idea of body horror sometimes, and that really kind of shows in this one a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have any skin in the game with this one. I can't really, say one way or the other. Is that legit or is that custom?
I don't know. I thought aren't these the old figures like these here?
LJN.
I'd say I think I might see it in theaters for two reasons. One, it is a big new property that's not one of the big pre-existing ones already, which is Star Wars, Marvel, DC.
Yeah. I think it deserves.
Guys.
Which G.I. Joe, that big hulking franchise of 3 movies now.
Yep.
But the thing is they could turn G.I. Joe into a really good franchise.
Yeah.
Like that could be a great American franchise if they play their cards right. I mean, it really would.
I've heard one.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. They could.
I have
seen Dune. I think any of this stuff I say deserves a chance. So Dune for sure. I would, even though I'm not as interested. I think it deserves a chance. So and it looks like one of those movies I would go and see in theaters because I mean it looks like a big movie. It's like something you want to see on the big screen.
Yeah. Well, one thing I do like, one reason I think I'm going to try to go see it. And I've shown my wife the trailers for it, and she looks like she's interested in it, so she might go see it with me. But I do like the set design. Everything about it. It does not feel. What word do I want to think here? It doesn't feel like it's one of those machine movies, like Marvel. It's kind of become a thing, almost like people like to say with Marvel and stuff. It's almost like a machine at this point because it's so, it's so meticulously made. Every movie has so much. Everything is put together in a certain way to make sure that it's maximum maximum audience reach, maximum satisfaction from the audience. It feels like it's not so much a creative thing as it is a financial thing.
Right.
So this one feels like it's a pure creative vision from a director. Because I think he wrote and direct. I think he wrote out the adaptation, or at least he co-wrote it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is he's a passionate director, and he's also really cinematic. His track record's great. I mean, Blade Runner
is amazing. Yeah,
Sicario,
Blade Runner 2049. Yeah, Blade Runner.
I was going to say Blade Runner. Like that's just to me showing like him dipping into another franchise and like showing it love because that movie, even though to me the original Blade Runner is really boring. It's a good movie, but obviously it's very very boring. But the sequel, this new movie, I mean it still kept the tone and mood of the original movie, but it still gave it like like really good pacing. But overall, it was the two things where the music and the cinematography was amazing. So that's why I'm Dune. I would give a chance just based on his track record. I bet the cinematography is going to be amazing, and I bet the score is going to be crazy.
Oh, wait, who did the score for 2049?
I really don't know.
I really feel like it's someone I know, but I've already forgotten who it is. But yeah,
Hans. Have you ever seen Hans Zimmer? Maybe.
And that's why I'm thinking it's either Hans Zimmer or what's the other guy? Is it James Horner?
Benjamin Wallfish and Hans Zimmer. Those are the two listed for the music. So that. Well, I love that it touches on that because if I remember correctly, it had a bit of a little bit of a synth sound to it, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Blade Runner did. I mean, there was a lot of good synth and with the score. So it would really
very heavy crescendos. I mean, oh man, yeah. I don't know who's doing the music for Dune, but yeah, if it's anything like this, yeah. I mean, have you seen any of his movies before, Ashley? Like any of his movies?
I have.
He's like, I haven't watched movies since.
What did you do, man? What did you do? Ashley, brought to you by Figure. I just now noticed that. No, I haven't seen Blade Runner 2049. I haven't seen what else has he done?
Have you seen Sicario?
No.
With Benicio del Toro, Josh Brolin, Emily Blunt.
No, sorry.
Would you like to see a dramatic piece on the morality and the societal influences about our Mexican American border and all the crime that goes on around it and all the dirty stuff we all do?
I thought you were actually about to
propose. It's so much fun.
I thought you were about to propose to him that you were going to do it like act out a scene from Sicario. And I was going to be like, no, don't do that. But no, Hans Zimmer did do the music for Dune, for the new Dune movie. Hans Zimmer, I'll tell you, speaking of Hans Zimmer, that's the one I think I showed on a previous episode. Like he was the one that has worked on the DC movies, right? Like he did Justice League. He did
I thought you
I'm sorry.
He did Man of Steel.
He did Man of Steel. But I'm saying he did the new. Didn't he do the new, or is it just? No, it was Junkie XL.
Junkie XL.
That's
they
right.
worked together. They worked together for a while.
Get it right. Get it right. He wants to go by his name now because I
can't think.
Tom Hulkenberg.
Tom Hulkenberg. Yes.
Tommy boy.
Same thing. Hans Zimmer did Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, and I think
they worked together on BVS. I think he and Zimmer both I think Zimmer just did a couple of things, and then I think Holberg did a lot of like the small, like the atmospheric stuff. I think for the movie.
But I think their relationship actually started with The Dark Knight Rises, because on that soundtrack there is a couple of Junkie XL pieces that are just they're just Junkie XL, and you can tell it's Hans Zimmer with Junkie XL stuff on top of it.
Right. But anyway, what I was saying was Hans Zimmer, I know he was like working on Man of Steel, then he did Batman versus Superman, and I got that soundtrack and just all the stuff that's going on like on that soundtrack alone, like that dude is an example of how great that dude is. Like he's a good maestro. I mean, he's up there. I mean, because I used to wasn't giving him enough credit. I was all about Michael Giacchino for a minute, because he's good. And beyond that dude's probably like the next John Williams along with Michael. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think I don't think he's in the same like. I think Michael Giacchino.
It's Giacchino. I thought it was Giacchino, but it's pretty, I finally saw it in a documentary and it was Giacchino, and I'm like
Giacchino.
Yeah, okay. It's weird. It's one of those names like my wife loves Jodi Picoult. It's like a woman named Pico, but her family for a long time was calling her Jodi Picoult books. And I was like, okay. And it legit looked like it. And then like I found out it was Pico, and I'm like, that doesn't look anything like Pico.
Well, I think Giacchino, is that what you said? Because we didn't said so many words. Giacchino to me is more of in John Williams ballpark, because
for sure
the same sound a little bit. Hans Zimmer has a different sound, even though I think he's on the same level as Williams, just in a different area.
Well, one thing I remember from him, I think it was in one of the Dark Knight Rises or one of the Dark Knight featurettes. I think he said, I think it was when he was coming up with the Joker's theme, that was very string oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And he said one thing he wanted to do when it came to like these superhero pieces is he didn't want to make something that could be whistled. He didn't want some kind of like memorable, like,
exactly.
He wanted something that's just, you feel it in your bones almost, kind of like that. It's, it immerses you in the movie. It's not something you just come out whistling when the movie's done, which is, it's different. I'm not going to say one way or another whether it's better or not, because both are great in their own ways. But yeah, I definitely will give him kudos for that. And I do love that because he even though it's not something you can really whistle, it's something that it really sticks with you. Like I still remember like the Joker's theme from The Dark Knight is just so like hauntingly done. You can just the music alone when he's like on in the scene and you just hear those little strings playing, you can just like feel the chaos just from his presence.
And that was I think one of the things I hated about Man of Steel, because we were so used to that.
Danny Williams,
you could whistle it, hum it, and you knew it.
Yeah.
But Man of Steel is like there is no catch. There is no whistling music there. It's just a couple of notes. That's it. Superman theme. Yeah. So it's like, I can't, I need something, you want that. Here comes Superman opening his chest and the music starts playing, and you didn't really get that from Man of Steel. But
sure.
That was the only really thing that I hated that we didn't get.
Wow.
But
speaking of Man of Steel,
I was going to say,
DC.
Yeah, go ahead. I had something to add to that Superman score too, but if you have something with it, go ahead.
Oh no! I was gonna start moving toward our halls if anybody want to present.
I was gonna say, yeah. I wanted us to show our halls off. So before we do that, real quick mention, Chrome tab. We can. So have y'all heard about like the Comic-Con stuff? Like, is there any Comic-Con exclusives that y'all are looking out for, or?
I'm not. Whoa! What is that?
I'll explain in just a second, but there's apparently I found out this Mondo, they put out like re-releases of like great vinyls. I got a Who Framed Roger Rabbit score released by them.
Mm-hmm.
So good. They put out a Back to the Future. I didn't get that one, but they've got a bunch of good stuff. So I think on a previous episode I showed that I had the original Superman soundtrack. Did I?
Yep, you did.
Okay.
You did.
So this one, gotcha. So this one is basically the same thing I have here, but Mondo's putting it out with this new art and records. And I'm telling you, the art on this thing looks gorgeous. First off, we have this. So then this is the full layout. You're going to get like 8-fold. So when you open it up, you get 2 records that are like beautiful wax. Look at that. I love the splatter for both sides. And then I'm guessing that's the insert, like with all the liner notes and stuff. And it's because they do that with my Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They put the letter he wrote, the Acme, what was it? The wheel. Yeah. It was Acme's wheel or whatever. It's in there, and it's got like Roger Rabbit writing over. Anyway, they always do really good art. And when I saw this, I'm like, oh my God. In the back is, if you can see this, let me get the zoom. The Fortress of Solitude. But look at the. I'm trying to get the zoom going here. Hold on.
It's Control Plus, Austin.
Thank you. See. Here we go. I'll just do it that way. It's not working. Anyway.
No.
But anyway, if you look, there's like you see Superman flying up out of there, and that.
Oh yeah, I see him now. Yeah, I see him now.
It just looks awesome, like coming up, and then you got all your information, but like just the font, everything. Mm-hmm. This is a real good packaging job with some great. I would just want posters of this stuff.
Yeah, speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, or this is the Comic-Con week. I have yet to see anything aside from what you just showed, which is really cool, I don't know, not that I necessarily want it, but I have not seen any toys that really say, I've got to have those, and I know this is a different year with COVID, so there's not really a convention to go to and get cool toys, but everybody's supposed to have their little online sales, and I haven't seen anything that really speaks to me just yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wasn't the Ray. We were talking about this previously. The pig, Pudgy Pig from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. They're coming out with a toy of him, and he's going to come in a lunchbox, and he's got like all kinds of stuff with him.
He's got like food.
Yeah, food.
And his two little battle utensils. I think it's like, what is it? A fork and is it like a butter knife or a spoon or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And then there was, I know NECA had NECA, whatever, had that 4-pack of like the newsroom for the Turtles, the animated look though,
with the Catwoman April.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. If I was a Turtles collector, I would definitely want to jump on that. But I haven't seen anything that really just strikes my fancy just yet.
I mean, me and Austin saw one thing we've been waiting for. So they finally revealed that they are doing the unmasked Casey Jones from the 1989 Turtles movie.
Shared a picture of that. Yeah.
Elias Koteas' beautiful face finally on display with his hair before it vanished.
Right.
I actually just watched that movie the other day.
Which one?
The first Turtles movie again, because I hadn't seen it in forever.
Isn't it fantastic? Wasn't it just fantastic?
Did it hold up for you or not?
There are some scenes where you can see it's like, okay, that suit is put together right there at the neck.
Oh yeah,
lift up, stuff I didn't notice when I was younger.
Oh yeah, like especially the widescreen will like show you some stuff. Like it'll show you some flaws. Like the widescreen made me see in the very first when they first jump into the sewers. The reveal jump. When they start kind of appearing. Whoever it is that jumps into the shot, I think it's Leonardo. In the widescreen version, you can see it when he jumps. You can see that below his knee pad, you can see that there's nothing but like white socks under it. You can see just a little bit of the white.
Really?
Yeah, you can see it in the widescreen shot. Yeah, and like stuff like that. I let it go. I let it slide. Because independent as heck that movie was. It was extremely independent. So for them to pull all that off with all that puppetry and how great they ended up looking on screen, I let a lot of that stuff slide.
Sam Rockwell, I forgot really Sam Rockwell was in
Skeet Ulrich, I think, wasn't he? Wasn't Skeet Ulrich in it?
Skeet,
I didn't see him.
No, Skeet was like Skeet and Sam, but Skeet didn't have any lines. He would just stand there. He would just stand there next to Sam. Yeah. Yeah, you'll notice a lot of stuff like that watching that movie. But that movie though, I just like how it was like, I don't know, like when you see movies nowadays, I get tired of this glaze they put over. Like, I know we're in the digital world and that's the cheap way of filming movies and stuff like that. But like, especially with a kid's movie, it's like it immediately puts a glaze over it. I've noticed that in the later, like, I feel like in the post 2000 comedies and children's movies, the minute the rating is a certain way, it's almost like a glaze goes over the film and you have like a brightness to it. Like it's just so crystal clear, almost like cotton candy. You know what I mean? And so like watching, what were we talking about? Because I'm trying to figure out how that Turtles. So like with the first movie, it was like real gritty and dark, and you're like, it was like an adult movie. I mean, it didn't like, it didn't pander to us as kids. I mean, the pandering was in the suits because obviously big turtles don't just walk around in the real world. And I mean, I don't know. I just felt like that first movie was super. I mean, it was like really real. Like it just didn't pander at all. But so if I was to do a Turtles movie now, even the remakes that they recently did were still kind of like, they were darker, but it was like the Michael Bay flashiness to them and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. There was something about the grittiness of that first movie is to me is what makes it hold. Because even the second movie got that glaze over it. Really
I was going to say, agreeing with you, like I was going to say, take it a step further, just even the second movie alone, there is a completely like stark contrast in, like, you can tell obviously they got a bigger budget in this movie as well in the second one, but yeah, in the atmosphere, the way things are shot, the lighting and stuff, yeah, it was starkly different between the first two films. And the third movie was more along the line still of that second film, even though they, I don't think they were Jim Henson anymore. Is that correct? They didn't use Jim Henson for the third movie.
Not for the I feel like they did do it for the third movie. I don't know. I feel like they did do Jim Henson for the third. Was it that they lost him for the second? Was it somebody else there? I don't know. Maybe.
But I don't know. Like, yeah, it still fell along that same lines of, like, it was very brightly filmed. Yeah. I got what you were saying. Basically, was what I was saying. So,
let's talk about the hauls, boy.
Yeah, let's do the toy hauls.
All right, so I guess we'll start with me because I got a lot of stuff that finally came in. I'll go in order as they appeared. First off, finally, this big boy appeared. Steppenwolf from Justice League, the Zack Snyder director's cut.
Man,
huge mega figure, towers over the other ones. I'll show you one so you can see the comparison because from the pictures and stuff, it looks like even his toes are jointed. Is that right? Yeah, yep.
Does that help with the?
They're not going to hold him in place if you're wondering, like, if he can, like, stand on the. I think
I'm just wondering. I didn't know how much support they provided because even my Shredder figures like that. He's got a lot of joints in his feet, and it kind of helps, but then sometimes it makes it. I don't know. It's kind of weak.
Yeah, it's more along those lines. Second, Superman finally came in. This is the black suit Superman, so the red one's still on pre-order, still hasn't shown up. Yeah, he looks really great. Flight stand. This is my first time I had one of the figures with the flight stand, so I like that, being able to pose him. He came with a slight little imperfection in the neck. Can you see the paint flake?
Yeah,
like flaked off. Yeah. But I mean, it's no big deal for me. But like the face sculpt looked a lot better than I was expecting. Like in person, it looks pretty great.
I can't really tell.
Yeah, it's one of those ones when you just looking at it directly, it looks better, I think, than it would like through a camera.
Yeah.
It's like Benji. It's like I'm looking at Ray's camera and I'm just wanting to be like on Howard Stern and yelling at him because he's like Benji. He can't show anything clearly.
Third, these came today, so I'm glad these finally showed up because they were scheduled for yesterday and they just didn't. So we finally got Batman from Justice League as well.
Oh, sweet.
And this is the version that came. It's the one with the goggles down. So
sweet.
Yeah. I assumed I was going to be the one. I assumed the one I was going to be getting was the one with the goggles, held up on the head.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's the one with the goggles down. And then my last surprise, because this one I got on a whim. Hunter from the Bad Batch.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, he looks gorgeous. Oh man. Yeah, that's great.
Where'd you order that one from?
Hasbro Pulse. I was on there. I was looking around on the Hasbro Pulse, and I looked at what their section called. Oh God, what's the section called? It's back in stock, I think is what it's called. It's basically like when whenever stuff has been sold out, when they have another wave of it, I guess, or another shipment of it that's coming. And I just happened to be looking to see what they had available again, and that was in there. And I thought, well, this might be my one chance to grab a copy of it. So
right.
I went ahead and got it.
I was going to say, I feel like I ran into a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see any, Ashley? I was going to say, I think at that toy convention, I feel like I saw a couple of them, which I saw, like they had an Asajj Ventress. I haven't seen her anywhere. And I was going to buy her, but I think they wanted like $35-$40 for her. So I wasn't ready to pull the trigger, but I just feel like I just hadn't even seen her at a Walmart, and I keep checking all our Walmarts, and it's like after that wave of Mandalorian figures where it was like Grief Karga and the the armor and Quill and all that. It's like that's it, and then everything else is just nothing else in Walmart at least. So if I go to GameStop, sometimes I'll find stuff, but for the most part, they just have like the what's that line called from the video games and stuff like that they have, right? Or Ray, I think you mentioned, the video game line for the Star Wars Black Series figures. It's like
the gaming greats.
Gaming greats. I was going to say, like, I'll see a bunch of those, and I mean,
I do want to get cool. Yeah. Well, there's one that's coming out, which is supposed to be Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order. There's supposed to be a variant of him, basically. That's
with the poncho, right?
Yeah, with the poncho. I think it's supposed to be like it. I think it's supposed to look like his work uniform or something like that. I think,
and it's going to be a deluxe figure too, so it'll be like more stuff. It's because of that poncho, I guess, and stuff.
Because it comes with the dual bladed lightsaber too in it. Yeah, which is I'd love to get that. Basically, that'd be the main reason I got it was I want that dual bladed version of the lightsaber.
I'm surprised they haven't done a Star Killer figure yet from Force Unleashed.
That'd be a great one to do. But
I just feel like it's a no-brainer.
That's the problem, though, because it can't be a gaming greats because they need assets and parts that already exist before they make a gaming greats. It's easy to do it because it's basically a repaint, and then I think they just are there any characters that have already had poncho things made? I think.
Oh, I don't know.
I think Luke has had a poncho. The Tatooine Luke, I think he wears a poncho.
Yeah, but it's a cloth. But it was a cloth poncho.
Yeah, cloth good. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And this one's not cloth.
Right. This is. I think. Okay. I don't think this is cloth. I don't think. But there is. I was going to say another idea for the gaming greats. If they were to do Star Killer, Dash Rendar, baby.
They could just repaint Han and just it's just a repaint of Han, and then you just put a beard on Han.
Don't do that. No, Dash. Listen, Dash was younger, and Dash was doing push-ups, and like he was doing weights and stuff. So Dash had a little bit of a build on him. Man.
I'm trying to think of a way that they could do it with spending as little money as possible.
They'll just take the Zeb torso from the Zeb figure and slap it onto the Han Solo paint, like the Han Solo body, like the lower legs and stuff. That would be funny. But no, I could see them doing something like that because you see that cosplayed all the time. I mean, I would love to see like the big whatever that thing was he wore. It was just like, not bandolier. It was just like shoulder pads, but that and his big blaster. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Any other hauls, Ray? Anything else you got?
No, as I was going to say, I was going to be a little jokester and be like, and I got this again. Dark Side. Should I open them? No.
Yeah.
No, I think no. Open it now. I want to see it.
No.
I want to see it. No?
What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to wait till the Armored Dark Side to get here, and then we'll have an episode where we decide which one to open. I'm going to leave one in the box and open the other. And I don't know which one I'm going to do yet. It'll probably be the one that'll cost more. That'll probably be worth more. I'll probably open that one and leave the other one in the box.
Yeah, it'll be the armored one. You'll open it. Yep. Austin, did you have a haul?
The only thing I got, because I was trying to think, not really in terms of toys. I go out there and try to find stuff. Like I went and looked for like NECA stuff at Target and went to like a few Walmarts. The only thing. Oh, did y'all see? I've already shown the grapple, the Batman grapple I got before. But did you see the tease about Batman Beyond?
Yeah, I saw something today.
Oh, a new Batman Beyond figures coming out.
Well, it's not going to be a figure, but NECA's putting out a Batarang, and it's got it glows blue on the edges. Mm-hmm. It looks pretty awesome. So I wasn't big into Batman Beyond, so I probably won't buy it, but I think probably the fans would love that. I'm ready for him to make a Keaton grapple. But anyways, the only thing I got was actually for my wife, but Hallmark released a Hocus Pocus ornament.
I like that.
No.
Yeah. So of Winifred.
Sisters.
But yeah, here, I'll even open it. Look at this.
Look!
Oh no! Oh. So the thing is that she's not electronic. It's just basically like a figure. Look, she's just like a little toy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so
sisters.
You have a Hallmark store near you?
Yeah, we got one in the mall.
Yeah, must be nice.
We have one near us too. Do you have one near you, Ashley?
We got a McDonald's. We got a McDonald's.
Oh. Well, at least you could do a Super Size Me documentary, but not one about how to make a Hallmark card in 30 days or less.
We got a Subway. Great.
Oak Park has a Subway.
All right.
All
right. So here's my haul for the week, and they've already been opened. Cobra Commander, G.I. Joe Retro line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of mad that I bought these now.
Why?
Because
that looks cool.
Today they went on sale for like $7 a piece.
Oh yeah.
Are they 3 3/4?
Yeah, or 4-inch. Yeah,
4-inch. I like that.
Just like me seeing the Flash for now $12.
Duke. Yep. Duke.
He doesn't look like Channing Tatum.
Duke.
It's not supposed to be Channing Tatum.
I beg to differ. Everything use a little Channing Tatum in it.
And Lady J. Hey, I'm over here. Guys, hard to get you in the center there. And then I finally got something I've been waiting for a few months in the mail. Kanan number 1, 9.6. I don't know why it's not a 9.8. I wish they gave me notes, but they didn't. So that sucks.
Now to see how much someone's willing to pay for it.
And then Kanan number 6, 9.8. So I've put them up as a set up on Facebook Marketplace, and in a couple of Star Wars, online Facebook groups. I just got 700 for both of them together. But if it doesn't sell in another week or so, I'm just gonna throw them up on eBay because this alone I know is getting $650. Right now. So, and the other one, since it's a 9.6, it's getting around $100. So I'm still making, like $60 off of it, or more, or a little bit more, if I sell it for $100. So
you say that like that, you're not turning a pretty big profit from how much you originally paid for them,
which was
$3.99. $3.99. Yeah, I'm sure mine would at least get a 9.6 to a 9.8 on each one. I mean, I've got both of them. So
and
they're gonna like drop down to like a 7. It's like we went over these and we found tiny slight fingerprint smudges.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
Your chocolate fingers.
I don't know why they're German in my head, but they're smart scientists. So
Jay-Z owns CGC now.
So
Jay-Z. Like his company bought CGC.
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird. But like I'm looking at this number 1 that got a 9.6. I don't see anything that would cause this to be a 9.6 and not a 9.8. Well, it has to be something to do with maybe a smudge on it or something. Like just wonder, my fingerprint on the cover somewhere.
Well, it makes you wonder what process they go through to actually like examine each individual page. Like, I wonder if they got like maybe a black light or something that goes over it.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they do. They go over it with a fine tooth comb, basically.
Apparently, though, I've heard that this one's at least fetching, I think, like $50 or $60.
Oh, really?
So I don't know if like graded it gets more, but I heard that this is fetching big money right now, and I have no idea why. This is an old Star Wars Tales I had.
Mm-hmm. Star Wars Tales what?
Vader versus Maul number 9. Because I've got the set. I've got 6, 7, 8, and then 9. So
well, if I'm looking at it, like the last one sold for like $15, just regular. But let's see. Let's look at CGC copies of Star Wars Tales number 9. If I can find one. Well, there's one that went the photo variant. Is that the photo variant, or is that?
I have no idea.
What is it? Artwork on
it looks
for
like
Vader and Darth Maul, or is it the photo one?
These are photos.
So that's about $50. Yeah. A 9.8 went for $286.
I know this can't be a 9.8
for the photo variant.
Thing.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Comics right now, especially graded comics and like good like issues, with like first appearances or whatever, they are going through the roof right now.
Which you know what makes me sad though? One thing that did used to get a lot of money, I don't think it does now as much because their impact is kind of really diminished over the years, is death issues where characters died.
Oh yeah.
Usually those were worth a lot, but I think the value goes down now, when they've been, a lot of them keep getting revived over and over.
Yeah.
Which, because I I was really glad that I got one death issue that I was glad I got. But that death was reversed. I got the death of Colossus from in X-Men, when he died taking the legacy virus cure.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have that issue, and I remember reading about it in the Wizard comics. Like it was worth a couple more dollars. I think it went up to like $10 the last time I remember reading about it. And then I found out over the years, he's already been brought back, tenfold.
Like even Crisis on Infinite Earths number 8, where Barry Allen dies for the longest time. Yeah, that was big money, but I don't know if it's it's really as relevant now since Jeff Johns brought him back.
Yeah.
And he's been back for
he's been back for about 10 years now. Yeah.
Or more. Yeah. But he was dead.
Final Crisis was around 2009, 2008.
Yeah. So he was dead for 25, almost 30 years. And then boom, he's back.
Yeah.
Hadn't missed a beat.
I have I have this set I found in Star Wars. There was, have you heard of this series called Jango Fett Open Seasons?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say this one right here was pretty good too, because they even mentioned like a lot of the Sifo-Dyas stuff in here. So I wonder if people would start getting interested in stuff like this.
Is this Dark Horse? This is Dark Horse, right?
Dark Horse, but it's also written by Hayden Blackman. And, he was pretty popular.
That's what I'm saying. This is like still in the the Legends category.
Yeah, the Legends category. Yeah.
Okay.
Just looking through it. What issue was that?
1, 2, and 3 is all I got. It's a 4-issue miniseries. I got 1, 2, and 3. I'm just wondering, like, if people, like, when they'll start to like pay attention to these.
Well, they have. I mean, if you have all 4, like, I see where all 4 just sold for $145.
Oh wow!
And
I only got the first 3.
And then there was all 4 plus the one shot of Jango Fett, which sold for $240 together.
Wow.
Yeah, but that first issue right there, selling for 67. Like here's one, 67.46. So
that one?
$40. Well, hold on, let me look again. Which one? That's it. Near mint copy, $50. Yeah. So it's selling pretty decently. Let's see what like the CGC is on it.
It's got a crease on the front cover. I can see a little crease. It wouldn't be near. It would. I mean, it's in great condition other than that though. But
yeah. So like a 9.8's selling for around $300-400.
Well, one thing I've also noticed is some graphic novel volumes, if they're hard to find now and they aren't printed again, they can also just alone can be worth something. Like there's a couple Green Lantern volumes that I remember are pretty pricey. Like one one that I have, I think is actually pretty hard to find. If you look up Green Lantern, this is from I think Tomasi's and Gibbons run, the Dark Side of Green.
Dark Side of Green.
Yeah. It was a big Guy Gardner storyline where he was. I think part of it was when he joined the Green Lantern Corps, which is basically like their little Black Ops team. Which is one.
Does it have like a volume something on the back on the spine?
Oh, I forgot. Like I have to dig up. I'd have to dig it up. I just remember that's the title of it. Is the Dark Side of Green was the volume, but it's the Geo Corps or the Geo Corps.
Green Lantern Corps. Okay.
Yeah, it's part of that run. Not the Green Lantern series.
Gotcha. But I still don't. I still don't even see that.
I have to look it up. Anyways, why y'all do that?
I'm just scanning eBay right now, and I don't see anything that like just sticks out at me. Says Dark Side of War or anything.
Okay. I one thing. This is off topic, but Austin, I saw the other vinyl album y'all got recently, or the new vinyl that you got recently that I love the cover of, or I love how it looks inside. The Eurovision.
Oh yeah. My wife has
looks
been going
amazing.
Nuts. She's been going nuts over that soundtrack, and it had gotten delayed and all kinds of stuff. And she finally got it in today. And it's the Eurovision soundtrack, and it looks good. I mean, it's by a legit company too from Europe called Music on Vinyl, and they and it's like a limited edition copy and stuff like that. So it's crazy. It looks good though. I like it. And even on the vinyl day, speaking of all the comic book stuff, on vinyl day this past weekend, we picked up a copy of the Dark Metal DC. Was it called DC Nights Dark Metal? Yeah. 2, or it's the newest series. Anyway, they just released the soundtrack over the weekend, and I grabbed. It was like basically a what was our copy? A blue. I think it was a blue wax vinyl, but it's got the it's like all the artwork and stuff from the comics and stuff. It looks really good. He looks really good, by the way. I love those animated figures. Is that the McFarlane or is that the DC Direct?
No, this is Mattel. Yeah,
Mattel.
Yeah,
looks good. I like that
original line.
See, those right to me. Those figures look great. I love those figures.
They look great, but they can't stand for crap. Like this guy will not stand at all. So I mean, he's literally laying down on my shelf. Because I mean, none of these
got so
figures,
much pump.
I mean, they're so big on top, and little teeny, feet. They just can't stand.
They skip leg day, but boy, let me tell you something. They get that top pump. They pump.
Yeah.
Get swole. So
they do get swole. They get swole, man. Yeah, I think I'm fixing to purge some stuff from the collection on eBay. Ooh.
Is he gonna be there? Is he gonna?
Nah, he might go. Yeah, I'm thinking of getting rid of most of the pops. Most of the pops.
That fad lasted so long.
Well, I've got I said most. I've got a few that I'm going to keep just because they, key, characters or something like that I just, I got to have a pop of that. That looks cool.
Yeah.
But I've just got too many at this point.
I know we have a lot.
Dude, I literally have probably 200 of these things just sitting around.
Yeah,
I think we have a lot.
Yeah, I think that's why I made sure I tempered myself at just like making sure it was just characters that I really wanted, and just not completionist stuff.
Yeah,
because if I did that, I'd run out of space real fast.
Dude, I go back and I'm looking through stuff and I'm like, why did I buy this, Hanna-Barbera Top Cat or whatever? Pop is like, okay, I guess, or Wally Gator. Like, why did I do that? At whatever time. I guess because I saw, like, I'm just a sucker for, like, seeing somebody's display of something. And, and it's very, very cool when you see some dude who has taken all his pops out of the box and has them displayed, like in a museum style glass case. And you see all those colors, all those characters, and all of them side by side. It's like, oh, man, that looks really good. I'd like to have that in my room.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. Then you get it, and it's like, that's a lot of work to put all these things out and unbox them and still find some place to keep these boxes. And,
Yeah. Yeah, we feel the burn on that one, too. I mean, and plus, they I'll tell you, those pops go for big money. Some of them go for big money.
I think Thrawn's like worth a pretty penny now, is he? I remember he was worth a bit for a bit.
Yeah, he's still worth. Yeah, he's still worth some money. I'm just I'm probably going to lose money on these. I'm just going to go on one of these pop Facebook groups. Like I'm a member of like the Middle Georgia Funko Pop group or something, and I might just put them out there and say, $3 a piece. Come get them. If you get them all, and then they can make money reselling them if they would like to do that. That's they're theirs at that point. I just don't have the time to sit there and try to
parse through them,
and then you may sell 10 of them at some big time, $40 or $50, and all the work you have to do just to sell those 10, and then you have a bunch of $3 pops laying around. So,
you could take the haul into like a toy shop, like Planet Fun probably would buy them off of you
for about $1 a pop, I guarantee you.
I mean, they'll look at them and see how much they're worth. I mean, if they're worth money, they'll probably give you good money for them. I mean, and plus, if you see stuff in their shop they give you real good money on like store credit, like just trade in. So,
be like an
if you ever see it converting that, yeah, I'm just saying I could see if you had like, especially ones that would fetch decent money. I'm sure they would probably, if you separated those from like the junk, they'd probably, like you said, they'd probably buy the junk for $1 a pop, if not maybe $2 or $3 a pop, and then they'd probably, depending on how much that you could get for it. I mean, they're going to give you, and also depending on if you want cash versus store credit.
Yeah,
but yeah, not that I'm trying to give them a shout out or anything, but they're a pretty cool shop in Savannah. Planet Fun.
Yeah, I've purchased some things from them before.
No, they're really good. I'll tell you one more thing before we go. I want to give a shout out to this comic shop in the area. They sell toys and comics called Neighborhood Comics in Savannah. Mm-hmm. Probably hands down the nicest people. I mean, well, I mainly interacted with the one guy, but he was super, super nice, really helpful, just good talking to people. Real cool vibe in the place, and they got toys, comics. And it's just, you can hang out and relax. They have like comic artists that stop by. Like last time me and Candy were in there shopping, there was a dude just over there drawing in the corner, just drawing stuff. And he was just, it looked great. He has like local Savannah artists work on big comics like Rick and Morty, for example. They'll come in, they just come into his shop apparently to just chill, to like get comics or whatever and hang out. But they'll like come by and actually sign copies of their comics for him to just have at the shop. He doesn't make money off of it. I mean, they'll sign them and then sell them for cover price just for the heck of it. So my wife bought one. It was a Rick and Morty one that he signed and put a little doodle on the front, and she bought it for cover price, like $3.99. And it just looks awesome.
So you said Neighborhood Comics?
Neighborhood Comics. They are awesome.
Do you think it's more comics than toys?
Yeah, I would say more comics than toys, but he's got like some cool toys. He's got like some retro toys in there too, like some old DC figures and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was just looking because I'm trying to keep on my my Georgia what is it? My Georgia Action Figure Alliance group. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to keep like a list of like toy shops in Georgia so that people can use that as kind of a reference.
Yeah, I don't know how big he is into the like buying and selling toys. He may be trying to see like what he could drum up. I don't know, but yeah, it's a definitely cool place. I mean, you can buy new stuff in there too. I mean, I remember last time I was in there, he's got the Casey Jones NECA mask, from NECA. They've got the hockey mask for Casey Jones, and I was so tempted to buy it. I want it so bad, but I can't pull it. It's like $40. They had the Ahsoka bust too. He carried the new Diamond Select Ahsoka.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, the Diamond Select Ahsoka
bust. It's like the statue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a half.
What version is it supposed to be? From what's it based on?
Kind of looks like, I would say, like Rebels or late Clone Wars. Like it looks more like animated styles. Yeah, it looks more like last season Clone Wars to me.
Okay. So yeah, okay. Well, I mean, one way you can really tell is the outfit that she's wearing in it. Is she wearing that gray robe?
No, not the gray robe. She's wearing like the brown suit. Yeah, brown Jedi robe.
So that would be along. So I'm guessing that sounds more like Rebels then. I think. Does she have the longer like you? Or whatever they're called.
See, that's the thing. I can't remember because it was kind of you have to look and see. It's
get my Star Wars aliens mixed up.
I'm Star Wars nerds.
We can talk about Star Trek.
Oh God, no.
Would you like to hear about the Doomsday Machine?
No.
That would be cool if they did Doomsday Machine in like a movie.
You sick trekkers. Shut up. Oh gosh.
Is that it for the
in
night?
Ashley's defense, he's never preached tolerance. So so I can't hold anything to him.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
What was that line from Fanboys? You Spock sucking. What was it? Spock sucking Trek. Kirk.
Something like
no,
that.
Kirk loving Spock suckers.
Jesus.
Oh, that was funny.
That is good.
Nerd wars are fun.
Yep.
All right, America and other countries that are watching us and wondering what are we talking about.
Yep.
Everybody have a good night.
Yes.
Later days.
What?
That toy life.
To catch these ghosts, you need the real Ghostbusters.
Nice landing, Han Solo.
Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately. Batteries not included.
That toy life.